Good afternoon, I'm Catherine Logan, broadcasting to you today from the GBTA conference in Brussels. I'm joined today by Shelley Fletcher-Bryant, who is Director Client Management at Advito. Shelley, thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure, thanks for having me.
So, Shelley, sustainability, it's top of mind for every business leader today. And as climate change continues to impact everyone in the world, and consumers increasingly demand that businesses act on their promises to help the environment, what does that mean for business travel managers?
It means a lot, right? There's a lot to consider, and I think for travel managers it really means creating a holistic approach to looking at sustainability that actually goes beyond just looking at reducing emissions and looking more at how do we engage travellers and how do we engage employees in having them help us achieve those sustainability goals.
And so so it's basically engage your markets then to help you achieve your goals, right? So, but what does that look like in practice?
Yeah, let's get into the detail of that in terms of actually some tangible things. And from our perspective, we feel very much there's kind of a four-stage process or four key components, if you like, in terms of that strategy. The first is accurate data. Secondly, it's looking at internal alignment within the organisation. Then it's setting targets that are science-based. And finally, then, it is about employee engagement. So as we look at building out those strategies, it's really important to consider all of those key elements and how they work together, because you'll be looking at opportunities to travel less where that makes sense. We've heard a lot about that over the last days here at GBTA. Travelling less where it makes sense, travelling better, using sustainable suppliers, and then thinking about offsetting and carbon capture in a responsible way, because it plays a role, but the critical piece is avoiding greenwashing and making sure that you're building something that works across all of those elements.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know that there's a dirtier word than greenwashing these days, really.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a very robust framework. You know, what should organisations consider when using this framework?
Yeah, so if I go through each of those points, I think the robust data piece is the foundation, really. So if you take the ISO certified Gate 4 methodology that we've created that covers air, hotel, rail and car categories, it covers a number of really important factors without which it's pretty much impossible to make those considered choices. So taking into account aircraft type is one of the biggest components you can look at when you're looking at your accuracy of data to give you that standpoint of where you are today. Next then, that internal alignment is really important. You want to make sure as a travel manager that the goals that you're setting for your travel program are completely aligned with the overall business goals. And it might sound counterintuitive and strange, but sometimes the goals that we set in travel might actually be in conflict to the goals that are being set in other departments in the business. So making sure you have that alignment. Then the science-based targets, again, the dirty word greenwashing. Make sure the targets that you're setting are real, they're achievable, and they're based on science. It's not, you can't just say, let's plant some trees. We're way beyond that now. And then the final piece is building that engagement strategy, because ultimately with the best data in the world, you're never going to achieve the goals that you set if you don't have your employees, your stakeholders, your travellers supporting that, and they're ultimately the ones who are making the choices to get you to your end goal. So having the right information at the right time to the right people is key, and getting that information within the online booking tool environment to help provide individuals with the information so they can make the best choices is absolutely key. And we found that by following this framework, by considering all of these elements, it really sets businesses up for success to help them understand where they are today, where they need to be, and critically, how are they going to get there.
Yeah, and I think with such a difficult problem, these are practical things that people can do now, which is so important.
Yeah, completely.
Okay. With that, Shelley, thank you so much for joining us today at the broadcast studio. I'm Catherine Logan, and I've been speaking to you today from GBTA Conference Brussels. Thank you for tuning in.